ratio right? Hey, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the Ratio Right podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Skinkis, and alongside me is Kyle Maurice.
Yep.
As always, we're here. We're going to be bringing you some awesome action. We have a really good show lined up for you guys today. First and foremost, the most important thing that I have to do is get my ratio right. As you can see here, like the last episode, I'll be doing that every single time.
100 to 1. That's definitely
the 100 to 1.
I think we got it.
The ratio is always right.
We got it right.
Yeah. This is the show where the ratio is just always right. and if it's not, then we're not doing our job, Kyle.
No, then what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here?
Hey, so anyways, I had a lot of fun filming the last episode. Some good topics for this week's show. We're going to be talking about things all the way from changes in riding teams picking up different riders and stuff over in the GPs, all the way to the American teams for 2021. Talk about a few other things, other sports related, and then we might end the show with music this time, even though we started with music last time. So
yeah, should be good.
Yeah, and before we get started, Kyle, why don't you tell us about the sponsor that you're sitting right behind right now?
Oh, I mean this one right here.
Oh yeah,
Vert Graphics. Jordan Weber, good buddy of ours. I don't even know how long ago it was he started that. I'm losing track of time.
I should probably start asking him more of his information, like on when they started.
Yeah,
but I don't really know. I know that they have been doing it for at least like 4 months now. Yeah. I would say,
and he's pumping out some graphics from what I've seen on social media. So, any of your graphic decal, just bought a new bike, trying to make it look sick, hit up Vert Graphics.
Yeah.
I don't think they have their website running yet, but they're all over Instagram, Facebook, your typical spots that you'd find them. But keep an eye out for their website. I talked to him not too long ago, and he said that they were going to be dropping.
Yeah, absolutely. His graphics are sick. I really enjoy mine. I thought they're strikingly similar to like Decal Works, and they're known for being like really good.
Top dog.
But Jordan's company, they just do a really good job of cutting it. Like, they're a new company, and they got all the trim right and like everything good on my 2020 Husqvarna, which is a fairly new bike. So really good job by them. But and then our other sponsor, which I'm sitting behind right now, is Valor Labs Supplement Company. That's owned by Mike Fisher and Ish Lopez, and they have a sick company going on right now. You guys are working out, and I know a lot of people are listening to this workout to stay fit for riding or whatever. They have protein, pre-workout. I think they're coming out with some other things as well, like nutrition-esque type things. I'd have to ask them, but it's just solid stuff, and their pre-workout tastes absolutely amazing. I don't really use too much protein, but if I was going to use some, I would use theirs. So, definitely hit him up, Mike Fisher and the guys over there at Valor Labs. It's spelled with the Z, so if you look it up on Instagram and can't find them, make sure you put the Z instead of an S at the end, and you'll find them. So, but now going into the last episode that we did, if you guys didn't check it out, it's gonna be playing here in the bottom. We had a really good time on the first episode.
I had a great time,
and quite a few people reached out and were like, "Hey, it's really cool. I want to see more of this, that, and that." So it was really cool to get like feedback. So I mean, did you hear anything else on your side?
No, I mean, for the most part, everybody was just stoked that someone locally was doing this. I mean, I don't know anybody our area with moto that.
No, it's usually all people on the West Coast, like all those dudes who are like around like the moto community, like that are already in the industry that do that. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, and this is just for, I mean, like we said in the first episode, this is solely just our opinions. I mean, there's some facts in there that we have, but we're just here to talk. You might agree with something we say, you might disagree. We're not professionals with our opinion.
Yeah.
Whether you agree or not, throw a comment down below and tell us what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. And going on to what Kyle was saying about the comments, I spent like a little bit of time. I didn't check the comment section at all, and I think we got like 4 or 5 different comments within a couple hours of posting it. And it was really cool to actually see some people's feedback and like where people, like some people were interested in the music portion and some people were interested in the moto portion. And it was a lot of fun to like see people's thoughts and opinions on like what we said. It's not everything that we say is right.
No,
I mean, we we're not professionals. This isn't our job. Like we just really enjoy moto, and I think we do a pretty good job
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, just our opinions.
mhm. So
Might be dumb to you. They might not be.
yeah, a famous quote from Kyle Maurice right there.
It
It may or may not be.
may or may not be dumb.
Sweet. So hey, let's get this going. We went riding this weekend, and we went riding at Ohio International Raceway.
Oh, our good old.
I thought it was sick, and
Me too. Real sick.
you mentioned something about it was like nostalgic for you. You know?
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's the moto community is so cool, and that's just a place that for years. I mean, we pretty much grew up racing there, and when you were on 80s and Cool Boy stuff like that, I mean, that was the place to be when they were racing. You didn't miss a race there, especially
Yeah.
their pro days on the screen right now.
Yeah, this is like what 6 years ago, and you see this is Freddie
Yeah,
Noren,
it's Freddie Noren
who's
there.
a factory rider right now. So
Yeah, I
that's
remember.
pretty sweet.
I remember riding. I think back in the Super Mini days, they'd have a pro day. We'd load up and go, and they've had guys like Danny Smith there,
Justin Weeks.
Justin Weeks,
Yeah.
Brock Sellards, Durham brothers always
Mhm.
went.
I
They
mean,
had Gavin
you
Graysick
name
there.
it. Yeah, Gavin Graysick.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you the list of riders goes on, and it's pretty sick because that track, I mean, it's just another Ohio track, but it was just known for being like the place to go when there was a pro day.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think
so
locally for us that was probably at the local level that was probably the place to go.
yeah.
I would
And
say.
so back then it was owned by the Hands, right?
I don't know if they owned it or not, but
Or
I
if
know they ran it. I don't.
they
I don't.
ran it.
Can't
Okay.
confirm.
So
But yeah. Now it's owned by. Well, once again, I don't know if it's owned or just or like they leased it or how it works. My cousin Tim Boca is in charge of it. Same guy who's in charge of Down MX.
which is another really sweet track in the
yeah.
local area.
And he does a great job. They had that place on Sunday. But yeah, it's just cool to go there and always see tons of guys buddies that you grew up riding with. And,
Yeah.
I think he told us back at the truck that they had like just under 300 bikes there, so they had a pretty good turnout. They split it up into classes and stuff.
I mean, if you think about it, for what it was at the time, it was November 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, November 8th in Ohio, and
yeah.
we were riding dirt bikes outside, which is sweet. So, and that doesn't happen all the time. We've had a weird fall. Like we had like one snowfall, and then the next, so like it snowed, and then the next week it was in the 70s. Like I had my windows open because I took my AC out of my apartment, and I was like, ah, man, it's gonna be cold. So I took all that out, and it was like 70 something. I'm like sweating.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to go ride dirt bikes.
Yeah.
So, but
we might get a couple more weeks out of it too. I mean.
Yeah. Hey, so I forgot to mention actually. I still don't have the vector file, but I would like to thank DH1 Mods for hooking us up with a sponsorship as well. I need to get the vector file going so that way we can get him the recognition he deserves. Brandon Haas over there has some of the sickest motor work that you can get, and like he always sends me like the vapor blasting and like the boring he does with like motors and pistons and stuff, and it's absolutely insane. So I appreciate him giving us a koozie to be able to throw on the video to make it look a little better, and hit him up at DH1 Mods. That's all I can say, really. It's just that good. So, but hey, bringing back to the nostalgia of Ohio International, I think so. For me, the last time I was there before this ride session was like 9 years ago.
Yeah,
and the track was backwards. It was had different owners or different people who ran it. So going back this time, like it felt like a completely different environment, and I really enjoyed it though. Like it was fun.
It was,
So
track was super.
Very rutted, very rough and rutted, which is how it should be.
You definitely got to work out there.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
You haven't been riding in a while, like you haven't.
yeah.
I mean, it definitely puts you in the shape.
Yeah,
for
sure. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got that ride in because except for the minor problems that I had.
Kyle had a rough day, and you're gonna have to have him tell you about it.
All right, okay. I shouldn't be bringing this up, but I can't tell him the first part. I can't tell him the first part.
You kind of have to.
Okay, all
You
right.
have to, because
So
this is what made it.
all right, so have you ever
rough
went
day.
to the track and you're like, man, as soon as you get there, you're not really nervous, but like you just ate breakfast. Like most of the time you're gonna rush in the morning, so you eat something that's gonna mess up with your stomach. So you're like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Like
So
a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
like a sausage, egg, and cheese muffin, yeah, from Sheets.
Oh yeah, it's a gut buster.
Yeah. No, so I go to the Porta John like most everybody does whenever they get up early in the morning and go to the track and stuff. Well, uh, in short words, somehow something got on me that wasn't mine, and
So
it.
I think because my dad was there too, and we're convinced that they must have used a solution, something to eat. And I think.
Well, I was gonna say the other part too. The shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
so
Sorry.
yeah. So
things.
there's two things that happened to me at OIR, and this is ridiculous, and I really am super bummed that I have to talk about this, but I brought it up.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
So I go to the Porta John, and I go in there, and a lack of other words, I get something on me that wasn't mine somehow, and I'm like, oh man, this is nasty. So I go like this, right? My body reacts terrible to things like that. I threw up in my shirt.
So he comes out of the Porta John, and he's like, he's walking around with his hoodie like this.
Like just the hoodie on, so you can clearly see there's no shirt. Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I threw up in my shirt and it's in his hoodie. Like it's in the pocket. I'm like, what? Then
oh my god.
My dad and I and my brother are convinced that when they used some sort of chemical or solution to clean feet, maybe this is the only thing we can think of. And we think it got on you, and then the friction of riding like over he goes out once, comes back, and goes,
6 laps. 6 laps.
He goes, oh my god, dude. He goes, my like ass cheek is bleeding, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, you fall? No.
No.
So he like pulls his pants down. There are like 2 holes in his underwear, like both like on each cheek in the exact same spot. And then he's like rubbed like raw, like he's actually like showing.
Like I'm still feeling the repercussions of it now. Like it won't heal, because like how do you heal an ass wound? You know what I'm saying?
Keep rubbing it everywhere.
Like yeah. So I changed my underwear and I rode the rest of the day on a extremely rash, like road rash.
Had to have been like a chemical on your skin, and then it just rubbed
like
in your.
I had a pair of nice Under Armour
compression
shorts that I always wear for riding, and they were in good shape. And after 6 laps at OIR, there was 2 holes in my ass.
I thought you like maybe eye-sided and slid on your ass down like a hill.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I almost wanted to blame it on the nice seat that I had, the Guts Racing seat, because I got it from Kyle Maris, and he's like, that thing will destroy you. And I'm like, I rode like 4 or 5 times with it, and worse, like I rode nap with that seat, so it was fine. So it definitely wasn't the fact that the seat was doing it. There was something going on with that underwear. So
yeah, you had a rough time.
That's what happened to me at Ohio International, guys. It was
really good though. I love that place.
Yeah.
They, like I said, it's just nostalgia.
It was very
fun. I remember
fun.
Racing all the time.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. But
where was your first?
My first ever? Oh, my first ever was at Pima Tuning Whole Shot.
Really?
Yeah. I remember, okay, so sorry.
Was it like a 50 class?
Yeah, so I was on a PW50 and my dad and mom take me out there. I think my brother was still racing at the time, because he's like almost 10 years older than me, so he might have been like finishing up like whatever racing he did on 85s. Like he raced against like Pastrana, because he's like the same age as him. So, or no, I guess, well, Pastrana was really young and still beating him. My brother was like the oldest in the class, and Pastrana was like the youngest, I guess. But Whole Shot Raceway PW50 class, and Art, the owner, disked the Whole Shot before the PW50 Whole Shot or the PW50 race.
Bigger than your
chunks are dude, the chunks are way bigger than the tires. And I go out and I just get the actual tank slap like crazy, and I go down. And I don't remember doing this, but apparently I stood up, and instead of grabbing my bike, I walked over, like stomped over to Art and started screaming at him for disking the track before.
You're like 5 or something.
So yeah, maybe even less, like 4 even or something. So, and yeah, so that was my first race. I don't even know if you want to call that a race, because I might not have actually finish
Yeah, I was
that.
just about to say, did you get back on the bike?
I had to have. I mean, come
Yeah,
on. So,
true.
what about you? What was your first race?
First race was.
Ooh. What was that?
I don't,
It's a vulture.
yeah, sounds like more like would have been in '99, I think. Yeah, I was 6. I was on a PW50 as well, and they had their this. It's not where the track is now. It's like in a, I don't know where the location. The mini track was all on a hill, which is a horrible idea. Like
That's
PWs, you
not how
could
you do
barely
it.
get up
No.
some of the hills,
If
and
it's wet at all, you're just gonna.
yeah, and the start was a grass start, and it was somewhat up like inclined. I thought it was kind of weird, but
Yeah.
we have like a home video of it. I'll have to somehow dig it out, but as soon as they let everybody, like as soon as the gate drops, like mini dads are supposed to step back. My dad gave me a full boost. Like I just like
Would he kick you?
I can't remember if he kicked me or just shoved me. I went flying out of the gate like head back because I just wasn't expecting
And
it.
doing that, you twisted the throttle more.
Yeah, I got like 10 yards off the gate and was like lead, and then like immediately got swallowed up by everybody.
Swallowed up by a bunch.
I think I beat one kid.
Swallowed up by a bunch of 5 and 6 year olds.
Yeah, I think I beat one kid.
That's rad. Hell yeah. Hey, first race, dude. You didn't get last.
I was so pissed though because
my first race, I wanted to fight a grown man. So, don't fight grown men, kids. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's the track
Even if they disc a track before a PW race and junks it. Yeah, so that's fun, man. It's good to talk about where it all started, and OIR is a perfect example because Kyle and I, before we even actually knew each other, we were racing against each other, and we were racing the 85 class, and kind of sweet to know that now like he's one of my best friends, and we talk about moto and hang out all the time. So it's pretty cool, and
for sure.
That just shows what the community is. And on my Instagram, I actually posted a photo of my buddy Mike, who owns Valor Labs, and Jordan, who owns Vert MX Graphics. Yeah, and all 3 of us were sitting there talking, and Obsession Media caught a photo of all 3 of us from like behind, and all of us have our names on our jersey, and it was just like one of the sickest photos I've had taken. And I thought that was really sweet, and it just kind of shows like how the moto community is and how much like I cherish it,
Oh, for sure.
So
meet good people.
Yeah, for sure. There's really not much like I've always told people it's kind of similar to the military, only the military is kind of like so many different types of people from all around the country come together, but you somehow build like a bond that you never lose.
Yeah.
Whereas like moto, it's kind of all of the same type of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, obviously, exactly, but it's really similar. It's sweet. So, but hey, let's transition this. We've jabbered on enough about us. Let's get into what people want to hear about, and then some news broke earlier, Kyle.
Yeah,
I think it was like 2 days ago. Maybe I saw it yesterday. Maybe 2 days ago it came out though.
Yeah.
That Glenn Koldenoff is going to replace. Is it Paulin who retired?
Yeah, Paulin retired,
and he's replacing his spot on the 450 Yamaha team over in Europe.
Big news,
which is huge.
He just
news.
signed
So,
with.
Now I wonder if that was something that was in the works. Like he kind of knew about it, so he's like, "I'll pioneer Gas for a year." And I think what Gas wanted to do is get it out there,
Yeah.
get it out there, and then now they did their job. They got it in American motocross.
Oh,
man.
for sure.
You know how many bikes they're going to sell now because it's American motocross. I saw Mike Metzger already bought his son a Gas.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Now, one thing I'm curious about is obviously around, and there might be, but obviously around West, like there aren't going to be too many just Gas, right? They're probably just going to link in with KTM dealers.
Yeah. So if I go,
because Husky's different.
Yeah. So the crazy part is though, Husky wasn't really different, but now it is. Like in 2016 and 15, Husqvarna was not different, but
True.
it is now. True. Like it's definitely a different bike. It still has KTM parts, but it's its own entity. But Gas, I kind of feel like it's almost like the mix between Husqvarna and KTM again, and they're just going to do the same thing. They're just going to put it in KTM dealerships. Yeah. So, but back to Glenn Koldenoff. Yeah, he's. I don't have any footage. I don't have any footage of him on the Yamaha yet because I don't even think he's rode it yet.
I don't know.
But no videos of. So this is him on the Gas, which is a very sick setup. Like I didn't think that I would like the silver rims, but it actually looks pretty
It
sweet.
works.
It gives it that clean look. I think they're kind of going for like the really professional look. Gas is like one of those companies that a lot of people didn't know about, even though it was a thing,
Oh yeah,
you
it
know.
always has been.
So, um, kind of sweet. And Koldenhoff, he's like one of those dudes that if he gets the right program under his feet and he stays healthy and doesn't have such bad luck, he could win a title.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure,
you saw him at
for sure.
um,
But
Motocross of Nations, Redbud,
oh, dude,
absolutely
he
insane.
got the start out and rode his own race.
Hmm. Yeah, and then like Hurling's obviously like he's really fast, but he kind of reminds me of Stewart where he makes mistakes. So I don't know.
He always randomly like with some.
For sure. So I hope the best for Koldenhoff. I've actually always looked at him as probably my favorite rider in the GPs.
Yeah, one of them for sure.
So
Yeah.
and
Nothing bad.
yeah, exactly. So I wish him the best, and I can't wait to see some footage because I mean those Yamahas are sick. So
Yeah,
they're definitely sick. We'll see how it goes
I
though,
just
and
bought one. Same caliber as theirs.
it's the exact same
Exact
bike.
same
You didn't
bike.
know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Exact same.
but yeah, I would say he has a good shot of doing really well on that bike. I'm hoping that I would say that him and Paulin kind of have like a similar riding style, but Paulin's just big
Yeah.
compared to him
Yeah.
at least,
Yeah.
So maybe the bike setup's going to be close, but obviously you're differently for like his weight and stuff. So I think it'd be pretty good. We'll see. Yeah, I guess that's enough. We can really don't have anything else to say. It's kind of some news that broke out. So
we just know.
yeah, we have a couple other things kind of coming through the mix, I guess, with more confirmed riders.
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, switching over to the U.S. I mean, obviously, in this time of year, the only thing out in cross is silly season. People switching teams. Like now's that time. Typically, be right around October 1st or so that everybody's getting announced, but season extended longer. Breaking for the last.
yeah,
So confirmed. Have Star Yamaha is going to be Plessinger, Brandis, Malcolm, SX only.
yeah,
Those are their 450 riders. 250 team. The new guys, Jeremy Martin, Christian Craig. They're gonna have Colt Nichols, Fry, Thrasher.
Thrasher. Yeah, I think that's all of them. And Thrasher,
Cooper.
oh yeah, Cooper as well. And then so Thrasher, I guess being a topic, I saw Weege was talking about how he was gonna do KTM, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he's on Yamaha.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of crazy to me, but I mean I watched some of the videos of him and it was pretty sweet. So those guys over at Star always seem to find really, really solid riders, So like Christian Craig, the last race that he did at Paula was sick. I mean, granted it was on a Honda 450.
Yeah. I'm still on the side that Christian Craig be better on a 450.
Yeah.
If he spent like all his time on it, but
yeah.
I mean, obviously, times you take whatever. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and
he should be good.
You can't take away the fact that like arguably right now they are the best 250 team.
Yeah.
Was like, hey, you want to ride for us? Like, how could you turn that down?
Yeah, it used to always be PC for.
What, like back when Villapoto was still racing, even?
Yeah, and then slowly, Geico or whatever it was then was Geico. Maybe not right away. Honda was kind of took over as like being the most dominant 250.
Yeah.
And I would say within the last 6 years, I'd say Star is definitely.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you got Martin, Webb, AP, Brandis.
I mean, that's exactly it too. Like Martin 1-2, then you had Webb come out, then you had AP, then you have Ferrandis. Like, what? I think the only person to derail that was Adam Cianciarulo.
Yeah, and And just think about even the other guys on the team. I mean, Cooper's won how many races? Colt Nichols is always a title contender, and McElrath had a chance to win it
I
last year.
I don't know what happened.
I can't even remember. I think he was leading the points.
It almost looked like when he like had one bad moto, which wasn't even a bad moto. I think he got like a third, where he just got passed by Ferrandis.
Yeah.
Or wait, that was the right coast, right? I don't know. Don't quote me. Season was all messed up with everything going on, but it looked like he kind of lost like a
Or no,
win.
I think he lost to Sexton.
Sexton, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that one really muddy race when Sexton passed him and then just left him, and like Sexton was toying with him, or McElrath was toying with Sexton, and Sexton was like, "Screw it, I'm just gonna get past you, blow your doors off."
Yeah.
And he did, and then from then on, or even that race, just let alone the kind of the wind just went out of his sails, and it kind of sucks because I definitely thought he could have won that title.
He's always around in those.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, those guys, I can't put it in words because I don't know. I have never raced a professional motocross race, so I can't sit here and be like, oh, like why didn't he push harder? Because he could have won. It is what it is. So.
Yeah. I mean, so that team is all confirmed. Completely. Cowie would be obviously ET. Their 250 squad is going to be Faulkner, McAdoo.
Yep.
This is returning, I believe. Amaker.
Yeah.
They're bringing
Seth Amaker, who was
Haymaker.
The Haymaker. So he was supposed to come in, but he got some sickness or disease or something, and I don't remember what it was called, but he like wasn't able to come in, so that's why they brought in other riders, and now he's a part of the team this year. So I'm really excited to see what he can.
Guess what? Yeah, me too. Curious what went down with Marchbanks too. Like I know that he didn't put in like all the best thoughts in there at PC, but won that Daytona like made it look like he should have been winning like all season. Like
he was fast.
He didn't really get caught, and he got out there and just shredded.
Yeah, that Daytona, like after that, I was like, whoa, like
I'm sorry, but if it's me, I'm keeping him.
Yeah. There's probably McAdoo.
That doesn't seem to make sense.
And I think this is something.
Mitch Payton.
Hey, I mean, Mitch Payton is he's proven, so
guess you trust him.
Yeah. There was probably something with Marchbanks who he might be like maybe something with his mentality or something that Mitch didn't. And then talking about McAdoo, a lot of riders say that McAdoo he's good, but like he's kind of all over the place. Like he's kind of a little bit hot-headed too. A perfect example is like he like jumped into I think it was Alex Martin.
I was just about to say
at Florida, I think.
Florida, Alex was like right alongside him, and they were going up that
man-made mountain. Yeah.
And he like cut over on him. And after Martin made the pass, he gave him like a.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like that doesn't. And that's not the first time. Like if you watch McAdoo ride, he just does that stuff all the time. He's not out of control until he gets around somebody. Then he's out of control. It's almost like he loses it.
I remember seeing a video. He was on Geico.
Mm-hmm.
He just like randomly went in he just randomly dove in on the Peter out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard that a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, well. Hey, I mean, if he can keep it on two wheels, McAdoo's fast.
Yeah.
So, just some bad luck for him too, though. So,
Cowie's confirmed.
Yep.
Gas is confirmed. Obviously, you got Barsha, Pierce Brown, and
Michael Mosman. Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that on the first episode. So that's all new.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm really pumped to see
Barsha. I've always digged Mosman. Marshall, I'm kind of like a fanboy of all the Husky dudes, and seeing him go from Husky to Gas. It's like in his interview talking about how like he was like that's sick about being like on a Red Bull team.
Oh yeah,
I'm expecting big things from him and Barsha. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Then got Husky is all confirmed.
I think Hampshire is for sure going to be there, but I don't know about the other riders.
I would imagine that from the start they typically give him
Didn't
2
he
years.
do 2 years though? I think he did do 2 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
Yeah, because the same time as. Well, no, he turned
Jet
pros.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
He did the same thing as Jet Lawrence. So, and Jet didn't do 2 years of Super.
I honestly,
I
our
I-
years are running together.
It's so crazy because if we didn't have this weird compact year, we would probably know.
Yeah,
But now it feels like it's been 2 years since
because of
everything.
the break
Yeah.
they took. Yeah,
So,
but we know that they're fielding the 3-rider 450.
with
Anderson
Dino.
Oh, Anderson. You know for a fact Hampshire's on the 2 squad. I love Hampshire. I don't know what it is about him.
Yeah.
He just goes for it.
Yeah, ever since that win at North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina GP.
Oh man, he could start from the outside.
Oh, ripped it. And he actually he might have went down in one of the second moto or something, or had like not a very good start and still made it happen too.
Mm-hmm.
So like it just shows that was sick.
Yeah.
That was his first like professional win.
Yeah. That was
against
sick ride,
against all the GP dudes, and like there was some other Americans racing in that too. So
there's a video somewhere behind the gate ripping that.
It's so
weird
sick.
From the outside.
Yeah, Hampshire is pretty badass. So I hope to see him get the results that he deserves. Really.
Yeah. Sure. So then we got confirmed Little Concepts, cross only, 4 riders. Yeah. Kind of strange. But
I mean, I guess you're not fulfilling a 250 team, then
yeah, why not? They're not doing outdoors.
Yeah. Tony Alessi's got some weird program going on over there.
But or are they thinking about? Or maybe 2 of the guys go out. I don't know.
I could see it being guaranteed these 4 doing Supercross, and then they split like McElrath and Hill go do.
Like I could see outdoors them McElrath and
Bloss. Yeah,
because Hill and
which
didn't last year.
Which goes back to what you were saying. So we have McElrath, Hill, Benny Bloss, and Vince Freeze.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that team. Benny Bloss has always been so solid. He just can't ever can't ever start or end a season. I feel so bad for him. I think it was it last year? Everyone's all pumped. He's gonna start out a full year because in past years he's gotten like 6 at like in outdoor nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's got speed. I think it was something dumb like
it was in practice or something too, wasn't it?
It was at the test track. He just like landed off a triple and just went to go to the inside and just like lost his front. Could be
so unfortunate.
That story could have got changed. That's what I heard. But that sucks. But hopefully he stays healthy. And then McElrath, I kind of feel like McElrath would be good on a 450 because he's not a very hyperactive rider.
He's not aggressive.
Yeah.
Which a non-aggressive rider works better on a 450. Like for example, I mean, if you look at somebody like Marvin Muscan, who is the most technical 450 rider probably right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly he's a top 3 guy, like fighting for wins, but no matter what, you're always gonna see him in the top 5.
Oh,
always. I mean, world champion. So and McElrath's like a different riding style of that I noticed.
And he moved up at a good time too. Cause I don't know. Like I picture McElrath and I don't put him in the same thing as like you got Jet. Like I said, he's just not like a hyperactive dude. He's not aggressive. He's not getting in your face. Like
Now think about this. How many past champions are going to be in the 450 class? Almost every single one.
Well, hold on. Okay, so let's think about this. Plessinger, yeah. Ferrandis, yeah. Stewart got 1. Yeah. Barsha, yeah. ACET. Anderson, Osborne, Wilson, Webb, Muscan.
I think it might be 12, but
Hill. McElrath didn't win one, but you could pretty much categorize him almost there. I mean,
there's like at least there's going to be at least there's guaranteed 10 riders with championships, 11 or 12. 12 being like if you said McElrath had one.
Yeah. So then add Bogle and Baggett are gonna be in there.
Bogle and Baggett. So dude,
like that's 15 spots in
the top 15 are gonna be
insane.
like how do you how do you expect like the 450 class is like the points paying or the money paying class, and now you're expected to if you're a privateer and you want to try it for the 450 class and you want to make some money, like how? Like that's just
Yeah.
not possible.
Right.
Like Ferrandis is going to come in and probably be a top 5 dude.
Oh yeah, we're forgetting Sexton,
Oh, dude,
Roxon.
Roxon. There's at least 20. There could be like
There's
20 riders probably.
17 riders that have won.
That's insane.
It's wild. I mean,
That's insane.
but I mean, yeah, going back, we have
Savachi didn't win one, but he almost did.
bad.
Oh,
I like
man.
Osborne.
I like Osborne
but,
too, though.
Hey,
So Savachi.
dude, I would never take anything away from any move you made in the last lap for a
Hell no.
ever.
It was so warranted, and
you could honestly
like Savachi had a gap on him too. Like Osborne reeled him in.
He slightly choked. I think he was just.
I think he was thinking about it. Yeah,
thinking about it. I mean, yeah, dude. On the last lap, I don't care what anybody says. On the last lap, you could jump over a triple and karate chop somebody off the motorcycle, and I would be like, hey,
like AC did when the dude cross jumped him. He tried to push him.
Yeah.
I saw a meme of somebody put like a karate hand on AC whenever they did that.
That's pretty good.
I was dying. By the way, on AC, did you see his butt patch where it's like just the texting thing?
Oh no!
Like if you're going to text somebody back or whatever, and it just leaves like the 3 dots like in like a cloud. They put somebody put that on a pair of Adam Sansarulo's pants as his butt patch, because every single time they text them, they always get that back, but they never get a reply.
Oh, that's
because and then Adam said he's like, I'm too busy like eating my Chipotle or something, and he's like, I don't want to get like my phone dirty. Like he like said something like so. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I mean, and going back to team, have squad for ATM, obviously Webb Mooscan. They're expected to have 2 guys. It's not confirmed. If they are going to have 2 guys, it is expected that Max Volan's going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. I thought Volan would have stayed in the amateurs for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's ripping, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I've heard like a whole lot.
I kind of see him being. I kind of see him being like a sleeper when it comes to like, news of like how fast he's going, which is surprising because with social media everything's usually out there already. The kid's obviously really fast, but I kind of like the idea of sending like a rider through like the whole process of Loretta's first. I mean, they pay for it regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a team's going to give their dad a salary so they don't have to work, so that way they can go.
Exactly.
Like, that's what happens. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I hope the best for him because I really like his riding style. Like his riding style is so sick.
I kind of feel like that out of the opinion based, obviously. I kind of feel like of the amateurs that have came through in the last few, there's been a handful. Bull, Lawrence, Lawrence aside.
Lawrence, to me, came in and didn't even seem like an amateur.
No, he picked it right up.
Yeah. You got Swole,
without
Mumford, Shimoda, Marchbanks.
Yeah, you have Pierce Brown, Mitchell Falk.
I
mean, obviously, this is just a prediction of mine. I'm gonna say that besides Lawrence and those other guys have only been there for like Shimoda and Brown have only been there a year, and those guys have been.
Yeah,
they were starting to show it toward the end of the season.
Yeah,
that they were the real
especially
deal. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but I kind of feel like the hunch, Max Volan, the best of that group.
I can see it.
I don't know.
Has that, like,
I got a hunch. I don't know.
He kind of has that like weird young blood, like that fire that reminds me of Jet Lawrence. When it comes to like, hey, like he's coming into the ranks, everybody's like, oh, look for this kid,
Yeah.
Like that's how it's gonna be when Ryder D comes to pros. Yeah. I hope everything's going good. I haven't really seen too many updates from him, like except for like the first couple times he started riding, which he looked good.
Yeah.
Never rode a 250 before. Yeah. Never had a 4-stroke before, and he looked good. You could
Yeah,
tell he was riding it like a 2-stroke.
Yeah.
But I mean that's expected when the kid probably spins laps, motos upon motos 4 days a week probably.
Oh yeah. Styles Robertson.
Yeah, Styles Robertson. He actually started racing. He raced.
He did just start. Yeah, he did just start.
So And he did decent. I think he had some get offs though, a couple
Yeah.
crashes and stuff. A couple good motos though.
Yeah.
Um, who was it that? Oh my God, who raced against Styles on the Yamaha at Loretta's? The amateur came in. No, Gonzalez.
Oh yeah.
He had a
He was.
really good
Oh yeah.
showing.
He did.
He had a really good showing,
He
and
really did.
and
And he didn't even go straight up to any
no,
factory team.
yeah, and I was talking to a couple of guys that we play Xbox with, and we were just hanging out one day, and um Madcap Mason was telling me he's like yeah, he's like, so who do you think's gonna be like the guy? Like, you think Styles or Gonzalez? And I was like, for me, it's gonna be Gonzalez. Like, I think he is gonna be the guy that's gonna show. Like, he was the one that was getting the start.
Yeah.
So I think a start in pro motocross is really important, because if you can get up front with those dudes and follow their lines, you're gonna learn so much.
Yeah.
Where Styles wasn't doing that. Like, he was like starting like 30th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Gonzalez was on it last year. He had a lot of problems. I was excited about that guy. I feel like no one really ever mentions him. I mean, he hasn't done anything like insane.
I think at Loretta's he went 6 for 6 on his hole shots.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, against the fastest amateurs in the world, you went 6 for 6.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
Yeah,
it was on a
wild.
Yamaha, which probably has the most like torque out of the class, but
Yeah.
so
Still though,
yeah.
reaction time is a big part of it. I'm curious about that Dylan Schwartz too. He
was riding Suzuki's, right?
He almost gave Suzuki their first big bike amateur championship in how long? I think he went like
Since
he won the first moto and then got like a third or something, and then got like a fourth, and whoever ended up winning. No, I can't remember, but somebody went like 2-1-1 or something.
Yeah.
But he rode a few nationals last year and cracked the top 20, I'm pretty sure, in every moto, which is for only being in like pro sport and stuff like 1 year.
One time, yeah.
And then was like, I'm gonna try. It's that weird thing that keeps confusing me that they're allowed to do now, where if they don't score, I think it's if they don't score so many points, they can go back to.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, like all these dudes were going to Unadilla and then
Yeah,
racing like the final two, and then being like, "Oh, guess we'll go back to pro sport."
I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
Mumford did it. I'm pretty sure Lawrence did it.
yeah. I'm pretty sure all those dudes did it.
I don't like that at all. Like, once you turn pro, you should just. But
Yeah.
I guess it does make sense because pro sport, like if you were like
if you have a pro card, you can race that class.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense. It does.
But you're not gonna make as much money as if you get 18th in a pro national. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like if I was racing nationals and I was qualifying and getting like in the 30th, I would still go to Loretta's if I had the chance, I guess. But it just seems weird that you're gonna shoot up to a factory ride for like races and boogie. I guess
True.
we're just old school and thinking of like fast thumbs up.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to think that we're old school now. Yeah, we're getting up there, man. All right, hey, so we've talked about the amateurs long enough. One other thing I wanted to talk about, though, so we talked about March Banks is now riding for Club MX with who did I say it was with?
Crown.
Yeah, Joey Crown, and I think
they usually have 3.
Gosh,
I don't think they're bringing Lopes back.
No, it was. I'm drawing a huge blank right now. He did Arena Cross and just won like.
Oh, Chase Owen.
Chase Owen. Or Chase Owen. Sorry. I think he's riding for them as well.
I'm pretty sure.
That's gonna be sweet. That's gonna be pretty sweet. I wonder if they're all gonna be doing Supercross, or if it's just gonna be March Banks and Joey Crown. Because Chase Owen usually like he's really good at Supercross, but then he doesn't do it. Like he did it that 1 year, but he got like 3rd at Daytona or something.
I bet that since the Arena Cross thing kind of went away, I mean, it's still there, but it's not as big as it was. I bet you he already ran more Supercrosses last year than season, so
that'll be cool. And that's still kind of up in the air with Rocky Mountain ATV. You know, Rocky Mountain ATV is like one of those teams that I just never know what they're doing. Like, is Baggett gonna retire or what?
They'll probably bring Baggett back more.
I mean,
but I don't know what their second spot.
Yeah, I mean, they have been. I still see. Drawing a huge blank on names. Bogle. Yeah, I am horrible at names tonight. Apparently, Kyle. I saw Bogle posting some videos of him still riding the KTM. So
it's probably him.
I'd imagine so. He has some bad luck. Bogle's quick when he's
He's
on
got
it. He's on it,
he's got the injury too.
but yeah, it's just like Dean Wilson. So good luck. Hopefully that they pick it up though. So um, yeah. Hey, with that being said, I think it's time we take a little bit of break. I gotta use the restroom anyways. So uh, we're gonna wrap up the moto portion of this show. We talked about a bunch of different things, all confirmed riders, Colton off switching to blue. Just some riders that we wanted to mention, some amateurs coming up. So we'll go to a quick break real quick, and then when we come back, we'll finish out the show with some random topics. Maybe listen to some music at the end. So hang out for a second, and we'll be right back. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, we're back from our break. So we just talked about moto for a good portion of that, and
Yeah.
I think we talked about some pretty key parts coming into the season. We're in November now, so
Yeah, it's gonna come sooner before
before you know it. But hey, so again, big thanks to Valor Labs for all the supplements and everything that you need for working out. They hook you guys up. Veteran-owned company. You can't ask for any more, really.
Veterans Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Though, so thanks to all the veterans out there. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. So,
Real heroes, man.
yeah, for sure, absolutely. I texted a ton of people saying the same thing because they deserve it. People even before me. For sure. Like, especially like whenever everything was kicking off, like those guys, answered the call. So that's what it's all
Absolutely, man.
about, and that's what that's the reason why we're able to do what we do. So,
Absolutely.
but
No doubt.
and then also a Vert MX Graphics. Really appreciate those guys. Right there, Kyle pointing at it. Appreciate those guys for hooking us up with the logo. DH1 mods right here with all the motor mods. If you want to get your bike dialed in, if you want to get the motor done, and you want to get some stickers, hit up both those guys. They're friends.
Yeah.
They'll collab. It'll make it happen. Instagrams are exactly the names: Vert MX Graphics and DH1 Mods. Hit them up. Tell them that we sent you. Give them the good word, and go from there.
Be on the lookout for Vert's website.
Yeah, their website is dropping soon, and I imagine that as soon as that drops, we will get you guys a link to that on one of the next episodes and make sure that you guys know exactly where to go to get all the graphics you need.
Sure.
Whether it's just mini plates for your truck, even.
Yeah.
If you need something like that. And then I ordered a really sweet windbreaker, all black. Jordan Weber
I need
had.
to get one.
Yeah.
I said something on the
Yeah.
he put up. Those are sweet.
I told Jordan, I was like, I'll send you the money right now, whether you have it or you don't have it. When you do get it, send it to me. That's what I did because I thought that was like the sweetest thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to their Instagram, VertMX Graphics, and check it out. We're gonna switch gears from moto. We talked about that for a while. I kind of like how we switched that to the beginning because we can talk about moto for hours if we wanted to.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing that first.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and then we'll leave the music to the end. So
first one was just a trial run.
Yeah, and a lot of good feedback from that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate anybody who said either good or constructive.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about too. Like we would like to just do it kind of however we want to do it, but if some people were like, hey, maybe this first, but yet we still talk about music at the end or whatever, like that's fine with me.
Yeah,
still gonna talk about it regardless.
Sure.
So
anyways,
one thing that I do want to bring up, last year. Well, I guess it would be early this year's Winter X Games. I brought it up last episode. I didn't get to find it, but I was talking about Zeb Powell's gold medal, or it's not. I don't even know if it was a gold medal. I think it's a gold medal video or whatever from his knuckle huck at X Games Aspen 2020.
Yeah, people don't know if they don't know what the knuckle huck is. Instead of hitting, they obviously have huge double hits for snowboarding, but this event they skip the takeoff and they just ride off the landing knuckle.
Yeah,
it's a cool event.
And so they come down this is the big air jump or the best trick jumper, right? They come down and hit the knuckle and do some crazy dude, are you kidding me?
That's insane. This won gold, right? No.
It says the gold medal video, so I don't know if that's just the name of it or if he actually won a gold, because I know there was some other really sick ones. But look at this.
Onto his back. Oh my. That is so sick.
That is so sick. Look at this. Look at this view.
Oh my.
Dude, what? That's so gnarly. Zeb Powell is just one of those dudes that does absolutely sick stuff on us. And the fact that he wins the knuckle huck, that's so sick. Oh man. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that one last podcast. Just because somebody sent me that and I was like, dude, he slid on his back into a Japan air.
I would definitely pick him to win. Creativity of it.
Yeah.
Everybody else was doing real sweet stuff. They're doing switch fronts over it and stuff like that. Like
I
and
don't
a
I
bunch
don't
of stuff. But that, I mean, that's just thinking outside the box.
I don't get how you can have that much control, dude. Like I've I've gone down the mountain because I've snowboarded quite a few times. I've gone down the mountain, and when I get down to the bottom, I do this like sweet, like little shifty, like spin thing. I don't know what it's called because I'm not a snowboarder, but and I've fallen on my ass. And these dudes are like doing that at the top on the knuckle of a huge ass jump where like the drop off is insane on hard packed snow, and they're just like flipping Japan airs like out of
He
it.
just fell on his ass.
Yeah,
And then made it look.
yeah. Like why can't I do that? So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's super sick, and that was definitely worth mentioning. So Zeb,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
that was
ever
sick.
see this, that was rad.
So rad.
So rad. So
10 out of 10 rad.
mhm.
His ratio was right on that one.
I overfilled my ratio. I was like past my 12-ounce mark there.
Man,
We're getting a little too rich.
is that like gonna run good or not?
A little too rich here, but no, hey, man, what else can we talk about? So Ray's trips coming up. We're gonna be starting to do that.
Real excited for race trips.
We actually just went to
Wedgwood.
Wedgwood.
Yeah.
We went to a different park outside where like the ramps were too slippery, and then we're like, you know what? I guess this
Yeah,
isn't
there
for
was
us.
just like a layer of stuff. We tried to, kind of ramps a little bit, but they were just too dusty. We couldn't traction. So went to Wedgwood, Austin Town.
Yep.
Pretty much Youngstown. That place was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Super cheap to go there. If you ever were bored, you're not too far from there. 3 people, go with 3 people, $30. No brainer.
$30.
And they give you free water.
Yeah.
Bottles of water.
The weasel.
Weasel.
The weasel who lives in a loft after you climb up a normal like construction ladder
Yeah.
up
It's
to
a little apartment.
this. It's like a little loft like up above, like right where you walk in. There's a construction ladder that walks up to this like ledge, and then there's like a nice like house, like brown house door with like the nice like glass on it.
Yeah.
It just goes into like a little thing. And I went up to him and asked him. I grabbed a water. I was like, "Hey man, thanks for the water." He's like, "Yeah man, glad you're here.
This
Having a
guy's
good
gnarly.
time." And he's real rad. He's got a nice beard and everything. Like it's pretty sweet. And I asked him, I'm like, is it loud up there, you know, and stuff? And he goes, "Yeah, it's pretty loud." And I started, we had a little chuckle together, and I was like, what are you doing in the back room? And he's like, building a little street spot. And he's like, because we're using some wood from the other location. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
other location.
Big news here.
Yeah. So downward, close to where Kyle lives. Where's it at?
I live in Hermitage area. And the neighboring town is called Sharon. Sharon's more on the map because when back in the day that was Hermitage on the up. I say Hermitage.
Yeah.
Sharon, PA. He bought a warehouse down there, and he's making a second park. I don't know if it's going to be like Wedgwood Point 2 or just something completely different. But apparently, he told you they're building it now, like it's in process.
Yeah. So he mentioned something about how they're building it now. And the warehouse that they bought was like almost twice the size of what Wedgwood is already now. And Wedgwood it's a huge indoor park.
It's big.
Like for something just kind of so low key, it's big.
It is.
Like he could have fit so much more in there. So I'm like really excited to see what he can do with the new warehouse. And he said that kind of taking a while because wood's so expensive.
Oh,
like we were trying to build a mini ramp, and plywood is like $38 or something.
Oh,
so I don't blame him for taking his time, and he doesn't need to open it right now.
No.
So
honestly, Wedgwood could be more expensive, and I'd still go. They got a good setup.
I
there.
would pay $20 to go ride Wedgwood.
I would too,
for sure,
because you're there all day. I mean,
yeah,
they're open from noon to midnight on Saturdays.
Yeah, could you imagine being the weasel and you're just like you're just trying to chill?
We call the owner the Wedge Weasel.
Yeah, so could you imagine just chilling and like at 11:30 you hear a dude like chinking his pegs off of like the coping, and like the bike goes slipping down the ramp. It's like ting ting ting. But he's just chilling, like feet up, like on watching Netflix up in his loft. It can't be big. The loft can't be that big.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Who knows?
Maybe it extends into the next building.
He just has the whole attic. It's just
What if
his.
his whole loft is ladders? Like, gets like get on ladders to do like everything's on top of each other.
He actually he just like sawed a hole in the roof and like his actual house is on top of
Yeah,
the warehouse.
his bed's a sub box, stuff like that. He got the wedge. I can't take credit for the wedge weasel name. That's shout out to Alan Messersmith and
Oh,
Ryan.
dude.
I don't know who started it.
Hey,
Alan Messersmith and Ryan Maurice, I've both heard it from a million times.
I would definitely say that the first time I ever heard it was from Alan Messers.
Probably.
For sure.
Shout out to Alan.
Alan comes up with the
We'll
weird
get
stuff.
Alan and Ryan on here sometime, and when we get both of those on here, those guys on here.
So what's gonna happen is that'll probably be the longest show, the dumbest show,
Yeah,
the sickest show, all in just one.
Yeah, when those guys get on here, we definitely won't be talking about too many serious topics.
No, dude, we'll probably go like an hour and a half of us just like especially like when we get like close to like that 2 hour mark, we're all gonna have our ratio like way too rich. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it would be way too rich.
Way too rich. So like the topics are gonna be ridiculous. So which is why we'll talk about like the things that everybody wants to hear first, moto and everything. And then we'll go. But it'd be really cool though, man. But hey, so we're coming up on, I think it's about an hour. Yeah, a little over an hour long. Talked about some random things. Looking forward to riding Rays. Looking forward to just BMX indoors. We've been doing a lot of outdoor parks lately, but BMX indoors is always fun.
That time of year too. It's just nothing you do.
Yeah, and then a couple trips down south. At minimum one moto trip down south. We're gonna hop in your parents' or your dad's trailer that you guys have.
Sure.
Try to take a trip down south, whether it's North Carolina or whatever.
I'd go down. I'm always ready for that.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with music and stuff, man? Kind of dry. I mean, we talked a lot about music last week, and getting to that point where nothing new has come out besides the Ocean State Alaska Metamorph song. So I mean, I guess unless some new things drop or whatever, we'll have some more to talk about. But if you guys that are watching this video, if you've made it this far, I want to say thank you very much.
Absolutely,
really appreciate it, and
appreciate every listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people who commented on the last video and subscribed and threw a like down, I really appreciate that. Helps us a ton. We're not looking to get recognition out of this. We just want to provide something that is fun for you guys.
We just want to talk, and like I know that I would be psyched if someone started a podcast in our area about something that I was interested in. Or maybe something I was just moderately interested in, just to hear it, because I don't know anybody within a radius of how much of us has done something like this.
Yeah,
exactly. I would definitely listen to somebody local just as much as I would listen to.
For sure. Yeah, and the ultimate goal is to get a bunch of people to listen to this podcast, and what that tells me is that we're talking about things that you guys like to hear. And if it doesn't happen, it's whatever. I still really enjoy doing this. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it on episode like 50. So yeah, have a lot of fun. But I think with that being said, again, big thank you to VertMX Graphics, Valor Labs, and DH1 Mods for sponsoring these videos. We have a lot of fun talking about it. Absolutely. And this episode was a heck of a lot of fun, and we talked about moto for a while. So I think we're going to end that one here. Till next time, stay tuned for episode number 3. If you want to go back, check out episode number 1. I'll link it in the description, so that way you guys can just get to that real easy, or you can just click on our name, whatever. And drop us a like, comment, and subscribe, please. So thanks again, guys. Take it easy.
Peace.